Hello and welcome back to another episode. I'm still not quite sure what words I'm using yet, but it's a mad thing. So it's Wednesday. Every other Wednesday you'll catch me, Mark Ashley Dupé, here live in this beautiful little studio, which I've renamed Dupé's Den after one of my first club nights. And tonight or today, I'm joined on the sofa by my good Judy. Mr. Francisco Gomez, make up some noise if you're tuned in live already. Boo, boo, boo. How are you?
I'm good, Mark. Thank you for having me. Hi, everyone.
This is the first time that I've seen you in over
2 years. It's been 2 years. Just under 2 years, I think, yeah.
And it's like nothing's changed.
I mean, it doesn't. We've known each other for like 17 years.
I think you need to bring your mic up closer.
I think I should too.
Well, we did spend 6.5 hours on FaceTime to each other.
We did. We had a catch up. When was it?
Friday?
Yeah, Friday. We were talking on Messenger. You know, you can do the video chats, and we ended up talking for 6 hours. And
the time actually went really, really quickly. So you've been away. Actually, before we do that, let's introduce you. What's your name and what do you do and where do you come from?
I'm Francisco Javier Gomez Esprong, globally known as Sisco Gomez. I am a TV host, choreographer, and judge. And what else? I'm Afro-Latino. I was brought up in Ladbroke Grove, West London. Shout out to West London.
Oi, oi.
And yeah.
The ends.
Yeah, and I've been in LA for just under 6 years. I moved back about...
Has it been 6 years?
It'll be 6 years in July. Oh, yeah, 6 years.
Wow.
6 years. And I just
Do you know
came
what?
back.
It does feel long, but also it feels quite short when you say it like that. That it's been 6 years.
It feels like 3.5.
That's what it feels like. They don't feel like 3 years.
Yeah.
So, my first ever podcast that I ever recorded.
Oh, I was your guest.
You was my guest.
I was.
Like 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
I remember.
And then since then, I've taken over, darling.
You have. You've got so many pockets and so many subsections.
Subsection. Yeah, so
it's great.
It's gone from a private podcast to what is now known as It's a Mad Ting.
Right, yes.
It's the Mark Ashley Dupé Ting, which is just coming to the just entering the building is Mr. Jevan Levy, who was also at the first recording of the first podcast.
Yes, he was.
He was known as Side Piece.
The side piece, the cackling witch in the background.
The cackling witch in the background. Cackling witch in the background. Are you going to come and join us on the sofa?
He sweared. So for those, a backstory on Jevan that just walked in. So Jevan is Mark's cousin, who I met Mark via Jevan when we first went out in the circuit going out, and when I was 17. So we've known each other for many years. And then I met you, Mark, I think about a year or maybe 2 years after that.
Okay.
Because I don't think I met you straight away.
Well, hold on. How many years difference is there between us?
You're 33, right?
I'm 33.
I keep on thinking you're like 28, 27. Yeah. Probably because you're always much younger, because we told you off so much when we were younger.
Yeah, I did.
The amount of time we read...
I did used to get told off quite a lot. Push.
Everyone's coming in.
The reason why I've called this show It's a Mad Ting is because there's always something going on. So just entering the studio is Andre Laville. I'm just doing introductions. So to be honest... Right,
I feel like you need to like a music break or a little something or regain or something.
Right, let's do a little music break.
I think so. What it is, guys, you know how it is. Sometimes people turn up. It's not all to plan, and now I think you need to play some music for the listeners.
We're gonna come back and we're gonna restart the
ting. Yes.
I'm gonna let you take over for a little bit.
What do you want me to do?
I'm just
okay. I've got 2 mics now.
Do your thing.
Well, thank you for coming. Thank you for listening. I haven't met you. Hello. I'm good. Levine, correct? Laville. So Laville's the other guest that, and you're going to be performing, right? Oh my God, so I never knew that we're going to get a free concert. So this is the place to be. It's kind of dope. You get interviews, you get free music, and you've got a cackling hyena. Jevan's presence will be known later. You'll hear his very distinctive laugh.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of It's a Mad Ting. We are live on Fred's Radio. If you're just tuning in, my name is Mark Ashley Dupé and I'm joined on the sofa today by my good friend, Sisco Gomez.
Hello.
Hello. And my big cousin, who's What? Jevan Levy. And I'm calling you the voice. Yeah.
Careful.
The voice. Statement. Laville, also known as Laville_music on Instagram.
Hello,
if you were
thank
tuned in before, you must have heard me say all this already, but it's fine. We had I'll bring the mic up. Okay, I've been told to bring the mic up. This is live radio. So, I'm going to start off with Sisco. Hello, Sisco. We're going to do this all over again. Take two. How are you?
I'm good. I'm very warm.
You're very warm.
I am.
Take your jacket off.
It's a commitment thing. It's a 3-piece situation.
Yes, and then let's see the part 2 and part 3.
All right, we can't give them everything straight away.
Okay.
Let us climax, Mark.
So for those who don't know you, your name is
Francisco Javier Gomez Aspron, known as Cisco Gomez. I'm a TV host and choreographer.
Okay. What TV shows have you done?
As a choreographer, I've choreographed The Voice. I've choreographed X Factor. As a judge, I've done the CBS show The World's Best. So You Think You Can Dance in a few countries, Dancing with the Stars in a few countries.
Just a few.
To name a few, yeah.
Just to name a few.
Yeah.
Oh, I've gone quiet in my ear. Oh, okay. Is it this? Okay.
Just every technical problem. I've got this, I've got that.
So you've just returned back from
LA.
From LA.
Correct.
And you've been there for 6 years. What's made you decide to come home?
My visa finished and I didn't want to renew it because I renewed my visa the first time in LA because I got into a hosting school because I wanted to technically know how to do the craft properly.
Right.
Because I've been transitioning for the past 2 years to go full-time host mode. So I just wanted to do judging and eventually host shows.
Yeah.
And so after that was finished, I was like, do I want to do that in America? And I was like, I don't think so. If an opportunity arose in America, absolutely. But I don't want to be fighting for scraps there. It just, after the pandemic and all that, it just didn't feel safe there.
Okay.
It didn't feel like home anymore. It served its purpose.
Yeah.
I'm not really an LA person, if that makes sense, but I made LA work.
Oh,
and
nice.
so I came back just to, I guess, regroup and kind of like show the world now what I do now as a host and say RIP to the choreographer.
Right, and we're going to be getting into that later because I want to know why you decided to say RIP
Right.
to the old life.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
This is going to turn into Oprah. Sorry, guys.
Laville.
Hello. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Very
I haven't
good.
seen you since Christmas.
Since the
Fagamuffin.
God, that was good.
That was a vibe.
That was a serious. That was like an illegal party happening at that time.
That was
That's why I was just
basically
like, yeah.
an illegal party.
Yeah.
One of the only few illegal parties that I suppose I attended because I didn't attend no raves. How have you been?
It's been good, been working hard, trying to get things together. Had a few things that were planned, but government shit made it sort of like locked down.
Yeah.
So some things weren't possible, but still planning to go ahead with a lot of things. So
Right, we're going to be unpacking all of that. Mr. Side Piece, where you say?
Hey. Main event now.
Yeah, because last time you refused to be on camera.
Yes, I did.
Right, let me explain. Am I back in here yet? Oh, that's what's happened. Can you just link me back into here? Look.
He's unplugged himself.
Your foot. Right, so I think it's 2 years ago now, or maybe 3 years ago, I decided that I wanted to go from being a club DJ and start using my voice a bit more, like talking, doing podcasts. So I
Doing what he's good at, talking.
just about today. So one of my first podcast guests was you two
Yeah.
on Kiki.
OGs.
The OGs.
I mean, I was bamboozled into it, to be honest.
Yeah, like you were bamboozled into it today.
Literally. I came in sweating and it's like, you're going to sit here?
Yeah. But I think it's always best to bamboozle you into these things because...
Oh, yeah.
because otherwise you won't do
turn
it.
up.
Yeah. So, yeah, we've gone full circle. So I've gone from that little studio room to now I've got a couple of shows underneath my belt. Fred's has, I don't know if it's a wise thing, taken me on board.
It's a liability, I can tell you that for free.
Fred's, in fact, I started off in Fred's last year and I was in a show called Out and Bad. Out and Bad, because why? Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious. But then It's a Mad Ting started on another radio station, but I just felt that Threads was the home for it. So it's nice now that I can have you two on the sofa.
Well, it's nice to be here.
And you can see the evolution of what I've been doing. Because I haven't seen you for a minute.
It's nearly 2 years.
Yeah, it's nearly been 2 years. And then I had to get you down because I just don't think people are ready for The Voice.
I can't wait to hear it.
Oh my God, it's so sick. And I was going through all your content yesterday, just like little performances that you've done. I'm just like, wow, like you really, really can sing. And most...
Try.
Huh?
Try.
What genre of music would you say that you come under?
For me, it's like, primarily it's like soul and jazz.
Okay.
I think, and my tone kind of suits house as well. So I like to sing house. I like to sing soul and jazz. That's like my real thing. It's those three things because you can put the soul in any of those things. You know what I mean?
You can put the soul of any of those
house.
things. What got you into music then initially?
A house party.
Okay.
I was just like at a house party. It was maybe day 2 of the house party.
Day 2. It was one of those type of house parties.
Yeah, it was a few years ago.
And what you found your voice?
No, I
during
was just like humming, and there was like a guy who I'd barely met, a friend of mine now called Charlie, and he was like, I think you could probably sing a proper note if you actually tried it. And I was like, yeah, I know. Leave me alone, man. I don't want to do this. This is gonna just be too much trouble. And then from there, he just kept pushing me, and then there was like a day when we was just having, it was in like a dinner party, but after dinner party, everyone started getting drunk, and everyone was just like going on the mic because everyone in my little circle was kind of like musically inclined.
Okay.
So I was just kind of just waiting for my turn, and I was like, just try it. And then I did, and everyone was like, what? Is that what comes out of your mouth when you try? And I was like, I guess so. And then from there, it just started.
So before that, was you not like singing in the shower then? Like, did you not know you had this voice?
Yeah. So like I used to like do drama and singing, dancing when I was younger. Like I did all of that, the theatre sort of thing when I was younger.
So you did the musical theatre.
Yeah. And then I kind of left it when I was like 13. Because all my brethren were just like not doing that at all, and I was the only one.
Cool.
It was not cool. It was not.
I was
cool.
the total opposite.
We know.
Okay, so 13, you left it.
Yeah.
How old was you at this house party 2 years ago?
No, this was like I was 26, 27,
Okay. And you're how old now? I like to know people's ages.
35.
You're 35.
Well, I'm gonna be 35 in 2 weeks. Wow. Yeah, I know.
You see how the melanin looks after us. I'm always so blown away by it. Okay. Well, I thought you were younger than me.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank God for that.
So you've been singing for about 9 years then?
Yeah.
Okay, right.
Come on, maths.
I know, right? Because people ask me, and I'm like, I've been doing this for 4 years.
Right. So between 13 and 26,
Yeah.
what was you doing with the talent?
No, nothing.
Nothing. So you
Just
wasn't even going. You weren't even do like a little vocal.
Yeah, so like
warm-ups
I would, because I was like, I've been obsessed with music like forever. So my brother has a record label, so there was always like music in the house. My mum was like, she plays records, So I would always like wait till everyone went out, like turn the speakers all the way up,
and then just belt it out.
Just try and do a little thing and be like, I can do that.
Okay.
I can do this, I can do that. And then it wasn't till then, till like much later on, where I was like, okay, go into the studio, try some stuff, and it was worth it.
So when you left, right, so it's like year 11, you're back to going to year 12, year 13. What was you doing? What subjects did you pick?
I had drama, religious education, media, and English.
I like that. Gospel, the religious education with the media studies.
My RE teacher was a heathen, if ever I met one. I loved her though, she was great. She was like, she used to be in a convent, and then she ran away from the convent, and then she discovered, she realized she was a lesbian. So then she was just like trying out all different religions, because she was obviously told she had to be religious.
Okay.
So by the time I met her, she was like this wise kind of oracle.
Multifaceted.
Yeah, she just like took me under her wing in some aspects. Like she was really my confidant at school. So yeah, that's why I chose that subject.
Was there no like gospel choir involved anywhere along the line? So then you leave school and you just go into work?
Leave school, go into work, start running restaurants, start doing that, start partying furiously.
Okay, yeah.
And then stop partying furiously, and then things changed.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So like once I actually stopped the transition between like partying all the time, being out, working, like running bars, running clubs, just like had to stop and slow down. Absolutely, because it wouldn't have worked. And I think that's why I had to wait so long.
Sometimes you do need to get the party out of your system. I feel like I had to get the party out of my system. So what I did was start working at parties.
Yeah. And I started running, running the
Instead of going
venues.
home with empty pockets, I decided to make money whilst I was there and bring the coins home.
Yeah, did the same thing.
Right, so from this house party then and discovering that people were into this voice that you had, what were the steps to becoming Laville? Because obviously you were Andre up until then, right?
Yeah. I guess what happened, okay, so after that, Charlie said, come to the studio, let's work together, let's try and see what we can do. And my other best friend, Graciela, she was like, look, I'm going to write every fucking song that you want to write. I will help you do whatever you want.
Right, that was going to be my next
best.
question. Do you write your own music? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I do. So that first maybe 2 songs that I wrote with them never really made the album or anything besides Easy, which made the album. And after that, I just kind of started, because I wrote doing media, I wrote doing English. So I knew what I wanted to do essentially, and I knew how I wanted it to sound. And then with being signed to Acid Jazz, it was kind of like a direction that being signed to them was a direction. Do you know what I mean? You couldn't just do whatever you wanted.
Okay, you have to have...
Yeah, there was some element of like, this is the concept of what we want you to do. And I was like, that's cool, I can dig that, because I want to just do like a first album as a live thing. So I want everything to be played live, and I want any tricks, no electronics, like keep that for later on. I just want to have this one first piece, which is like pure, you know? So
that reminds me of Amy's first album, Frank, which was very pure.
Yeah, Frank was wicked, like
compared
one of
to
my favorite.
Back to Black, which was a bit more like production heavy. How many albums have you got then?
1, and then quite a few features.
Okay.
So 1 album, I got the next set of music is like completely different from the first set, obviously, thankfully, because it's nice to move and like evolve and like change things up. Do you know what I mean?
And you'll obviously become more confident within your craft as well.
Yeah, I guess you do. Yeah, you do over time. You just like learn different things, and I swear with like writing with other people for other people has been quite handy actually, to learn to just have the confidence in the studio to do whatever you want to do.
Do you go to like writing camps?
Yeah, I've been to like 2 in Sweden, because my publishers are in Sweden. So I had 2 in Sweden. I'm supposed to go to 1 in August, but I can't. I've got something else to do here. But yeah, I do them online. During lockdown, I did about 4 online.
How was it, like as an artist, being able to be an artist within lockdown? Like, did it stunt your creativity? Did it allow you to have more time to yourself, to be more creative? Like, has it given you stuff to help to write about? Like,
yeah, I think it's given me more time to think about what I wanted to write about. I think because the first album was pretty much like love and da-da-da-da. And then I was like, that's cool, but what else is going on? Do you know what I mean? Like, look around you. Like,
was you writing from those love songs? Was you writing about them from experience, or was you just writing like, can you just pen a love song?
I don't know if you can do that. You could, I guess you could. A lot of people do, but that came from experience. Like the first album came from experience for sure. Because there was a point where the record label were like, you haven't got an album. There are no songs. And I was like, they are. Don't worry, it's fine. It's cool, chill.
Yeah,
I've got them.
I've got this.
I just need to sit on them. Like, you can't force me to do it. And there was like fights and arguments and like stuff going back and forward. And I was like, just let me do what I need to do and write these songs. And I had to ruminate. And then once I got properly like into them, I was like, okay, these are the songs. And then we went and produced them and made them.
I feel that's the best way to write though. You can't write at somebody else's time frame. Like,
no.
I can't write music. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that I can't write music. I haven't tried to write music. I've penned a few.
I'm a music writer. He's all associating with, yeah, when I write my music.
No, listen, I've actually written some songs in my time, but I'd more call them like the type of songs that the girls in RuPaul's Drag Race.
I've heard your track.
Yeah.
The Harem.
Was it?
Private joke, don't worry.
Yeah, I've got a song called Hot Fashion Cigarette. I've got a few.
Okay. Is this
but they're more like comedy tracks.
Okay.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I still feel like those songs I had to still draw on like my own experiences. Can you two stop this, please?
I can just imagine you in your wig.
Yeah, I
in your
really
mashed
was.
down wig.
I
In your
was really in
room,
a
like, thinking with your little luminous cloud.
Yeah.
Thinking you're like like your dark child.
Yeah. Anyway, well, you can drag me in about 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, cool. So, what is the sound of this? If you got a new album, are you creating content to put towards a new album?
Yeah. So we're pretty much done actually at the moment.
Okay.
It's more. I thought, what is the flavor of what I like to listen to at the moment? And I was like, I keep going back to like 90s hip hop soul though, like Mary J. and like
The best. When music is good.
Exactly. When the beats were heavy and people weren't always chatting rubbish. Do you know what I mean? Because I don't mind modern music. I don't mind music that people make who are much younger than me, because obviously I get into it as well. But after a while, the substance level and the content, being at the age that I am, it's like, I've done this.
Okay.
I've done this.
Yeah.
And if I want to hear people chatting shit, I'd rather listen to Ja Rule and DMX doing it.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Than the New Brothers.
Well, somebody, who was it yesterday that was saying like, somebody in the music industry needs to start making new music because everyone's either called. Was it T-Pain? He went crazy. And he was like, just make new music. Because he was like, everyone's called The Baby or Baby this or Baby
little something.
Little something, and they're all singing the same stuff or rapping the same stuff on the same beat.
Choruses can be one word. Versace.
Yeah.
Versace.
Well, we got
Gucci,
Migos to blame for that.
Yeah.
Who would you say are your? Give me 3 musical inspirations from old school, and then 3 people who inspire you, maybe who are modern singers.
Okay. So old school would be like Sade.
Nice.
We like her.
I like Anita Baker.
Yes.
She's got that tone, man. It's just like magic.
Sweet
Magic.
Love, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like every time I hear that song, I just wish I was around to hear it for the first time.
Yeah.
And be a teenager or a young adult at the time, and that'd be the vibe. Like,
You just wish. You just wish.
and who would be your third?
I don't know. Like how, if we're going back, probably, and then Donnell Jones.
Okay.
Donnell Jones.
So 2 aunties and an uncle.
2 aunties and an uncle, yeah.
2 aunties and an uncle. Donnell Jones, actually, to be honest, that whole kind of like late 90s, early 2000s, like he was in charge of R&B. And a lot of the kind of like classic tracks that we have, he's produced them. Well, did he produce like all of Janet Jackson's music for a period?
I did not know that.
Oh no, they were married.
Why are you making up stuff?
Hold on, Donnell Jones.
Donnell Jones. All right, don't quote Mark on this one, guys.
Hold on, was it Donnell Jones? Who was Janet Jackson married to for ages? Her secret marriage.
No.
Oh no, shame.
How'd you feel?
I got that really wrong, didn't I?
Donnell Jones, that's how rumors start. I was like, wait, where was I during that
It was
tea?
definitely Jermaine Dupri. My bad.
Yeah,
No
it was
fake
JD.
news here. Okay. Well, no, Donnell Jones and Lisa Leftar Lopez, right?
They did a song together.
He also wrote for like 702.
Yeah, okay.
He did like Get It Together and stuff like that. He
Yeah,
did
so
their
there was a
shit.
period of a Donnell Jones era.
We agreed on that. We just don't agree on the Janet Jackson. Fun fact, you should just try.
I hate you. Right, and then who are your 3 current inspirations? People that you just see doing their bit at the moment. They're young and they're upcoming.
Young and they're upcoming, doing their bit. I like Takei Maidza. She's sick.
I don't know her.
She's fucking wicked, man. She's made some of the best. Like her album, her EP that she just put out, is sonically one of the best albums that I've ever heard.
Okay, I'm gonna need you
just
to.
like-
I'm gonna need you to send me.
What's the name again?
Takei Maidza.
I've never heard. Okay.
She's amazing, and it's that mix of she's got like the new heavy beats, and then she's got old stuff which sounds like it could be from the 90s. Basically, I feel like what she just put out is what Doja Cat should have just put out.
Oh, we can talk about Doja Cat because I actually really fuck with this new album.
Oh, see,
I was living my best life, and then I played it to somebody the other day, and they were like,
No.
Yeah.
Hits, singles,
"Yeah."
singles, killing it. The album, I was like, they're all fillers. You released all the bangers, but where are the hits now? It was like, it's easy to listen to, and if you like that genre, but Doja makes me dance. Besides that song Streets, which was like a flop for me, everything else, whether you like it or not, you're like, it's like
but this album's a vibe.
I don't want a vibe. Like, don't be like every single hit. You can't set yourself. Look at Britney. For
Do you know
example.
what? Yeah, it's like a bedroom album. Yeah, that you can put on. Yeah. And you can like do the dirty too, but you could also like drive your car with the convertible down. Have a moment like "Woman" is a vibe.
Yeah,
and get
Woman.
into your yuck.
My friend produced that tune
Get
actually.
into it, yuck.
Friend produced Woman, so I like, I do have to be nice about it. It's a sick that there are tracks on it that are really, really
They're good. They're
Like
good.
the Ariana
really, really good.
track. I think it's
no,
cute
Mark.
moment.
It's good, but her singles are way better. It's like they don't compare. They all feel like album fillers to me.
What, the whole album feels like album fillers?
No, besides what she's released, everything else is a good album filler. Nothing's crap. It's just night and day for me, and I didn't like it.
What about the track with The Weeknd?
I'm not a fan of The Weeknd.
I'm not a fan of The Weeknd.
I'm not either.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is a triangle of tracks.
Talented man,
Like,
but I just don't get it.
I don't get it.
I don't know how he's that famous.
I don't
Respect to
know how
you,
he's
but I don't get it.
that
I do, because what he's got is like a really Michael Jackson-esque tone, which is like
It's quite
really
distinctive,
rare.
right?
Yeah, it's really rare and it's really beautiful, but the music isn't as beautiful as the tone. Do you know what I mean? What I want from
The
you is
music's
something
all just
beautiful.
very depressing. Like, no, like,
Yeah.
like everything sounds the same. I can't tell you one track name of his, and I can't tell you the difference whether one was made in 2016 or whether one was made in 2021.
Yeah.
They all sound the same. He even went on to 6 Inch Heels, and he clearly wrote and produced that, because that sounds like a Weekend track. It doesn't sound like a Beyonce track.
Right.
No?
Of course you would bring the Beyonce in here.
Yeah, of course I would bring Mother.
Shout out to the Beehive, I
to
guess.
the party. Right, give me one more artist.
Decay and then...
Hold on, so you said Decay, then you said... Oh, you didn't actually give me a second one.
No. I'm trying to think. Look at my
You said that
Spotify in my head.
the first person was who you said you wanted Doja's album to sound like.
Oh yeah, that was Decay. Georgia's really cool. I love Georgia's tone.
Right. Hold on, why are you making that face, Jevan?
I love Georgia.
Georgia Smith, yeah, for me, there's this thing going around that she's peaked. She's as big as what she could ever be, and I think that's ludicrous, because I feel like she's amazing, and I feel like she's got the type of voice that you don't like. As soon as the beat drops and you just hear the first note,
You know who it is.
You know who it is.
It's distinctive.
Which I think is really important when you're going to be an artist.
Yeah.
To sound unique.
And
She
sound like
definitely
yourself.
hasn't peaked, because I don't think she's. How do I say this? I don't think she's done anything great yet. So she definitely hasn't peaked.
You don't think she's done anything great yet?
No, I listen. I give her all the credit in the world. She's amazing, but I don't think she's done anything of notability just yet. And
You
I
mean
think,
to like really put her potential and show her potential, her vocal potential, everything?
I think everything she's done so far has been good. I don't think she's hit great yet, and I think she's got an incredible journey ahead of her.
Okay, yeah. I definitely think she's got an incredible journey ahead of her. I just feel like she really needs to come into... I feel like the people need to start supporting her a bit more. Like...
That will come. That will come.
I don't want her to end up like a Tinashe.
Yeah, but you know, it happens. Look at Solange. Like,
Okay.
it took her a while. Jasmine Sullivan took her a while.
Yeah.
Jasmine Sullivan, 15 years.
Yeah.
Right, you know.
Of
so
being the best.
She,
But Jasmine
basically-
Sullivan was bagging as soon as she came out.
Jasmine
And-
Sullivan was great from day one, and
Yeah.
people just slept. Like, I don't know what was happening, but yeah, now everyone's paying attention, and I think Georgia will have her moment when it's right.
Okay. So Georgia,
She's
I'm good. I'm happy to hear that, because I won't say the person's name, but they were like, nah, she's peaked. That's it. I think they said that she can't get any bigger than the one with Burna Boy, I think it was.
Okay. I reckon
What's
she
that
can
one
do better.
called again? Well, like Bust Down with Shabo.
Love it.
Like, I can listen to that song on loop because it's just so like beautiful.
It's
And then
really-
with Shabo coming in and giving you that whole, you know, Nigerian
vibe.
queen of the South. Like, yeah, like she might as well be Burna on that. But I'm obsessed with Shabo as well. So
Yeah, Shabo is
to
killer.
bring a breader into it. Let's
you don't
say-
have to bring a brother into
I
it. We can have an
don't.
all-female lineup.
We can, you know. We can. I really like. Have you heard of Ayama as well? She's really cool.
No.
She makes some really nice soul jazz music. It's like
I need
Kinda
you to. I
modern.
need you to share some of your Spotify library with me.
yeah, of course. I send you a playlist with all the good people that I find.
Because I feel like you got good vibes going on here. I like the people that you chose.
I don't know one of them, so I'm gonna be.
You don't know Georgia Smith?
No.
Oh, girl, welcome back
Well,
to
then she
London.
does have work to do.
There we go.
Right?
I'm your K-pop specialist, representing the K-pop nation.
Right, we're going to be getting some more music from you. We're going to be getting 2 tracks from you later.
Yeah.
But for now, that has been Laville.
Thank you.
We're going to ask you some more questions later. Mr. Sisco, Francisco Gomez.
I don't know what accent that was, but yes.
Sorry, how do you say the name in Spanish?
Francisco Javier Gomez Aspron.
Javier.
My first name is, I'm so extra. Francisco Javier is actually my first name.
Oh,
and
double
Gomez
barrels.
Aspron is my second name.
You got 2 double-barrel
I'm
names.
double-barreled names, yeah.
Double barrel.
I can never fit it in. You know when you have to do forms when you go abroad? I can never fit it in.
I didn't know you had 2 double-barrel
Yeah,
names.
Latino people are so extra.
So extra, but that's why we love. Shall we have some prosecco?
Oh, is that the vibe?
Yeah, that's the vibe.
What,
So
do you want me to do that before you?
Yeah,
you
yeah,
fall?
okay. let's pop open the champers.
He heard the word extra and asked for prosecco.
Yeah, because you know what? I realised that my throat is kind of dry,
Parched.
parched. Yeah. As you can tell so far, I'm just going to be getting dragged on my own show today. Whoops. Hey! Well, I've got to make sure that that everybody's nicely watered.
Would you like some orange juice a bit?
It's orange juice and mango, so like a mimosa. Yeah, come on.
Like a Jamaican mimosa.
Yeah, come on. That's how we
No,
do.
thank you. I'm not drinking today, guys.
Right, so throughout the show, we're going to be discussing today as well all the madness that went down over the weekend. So if you are tuned in via Mixcloud or just listening and you want to leave some comments, can I have some juice in that, please? I want to know what everybody thinks about what happened with the football this weekend and like whether or not we should be banning emojis or whether we should be banning the users who use the emojis inappropriately. So we're going to be unpacking all of that stuff later. I know that you said to me earlier on that you're already, you got a lot to speak on that.
Yeah. It's so simple.
So simple. Thank you.
It's just so simple.
It's the simplest thing ever.
It's like all this conversation is so unnecessary because the one thing that needs to change is not us. And that's the end of it.
Right, I can't wait to unpack it. Let's have a little quick cheers.
Yeah.
Cheers. Is that what you got in your glass?
Yeah, because I,
Are you driving?
No, before you sing, you probably shouldn't really do it.
Oh, right, okay. He's a professional. Right, Mr. Gomez,
Tell me.
what's been going on? So you left the country for 6 years.
Yeah, I left the country.
You left the country for 6 years, which I'm very sad about. But you've popped back.
Yes.
And sometimes you pop back because you go and do other jobs.
Correct. Usually when I come to London, it's because of work. So I usually come to London like twice a year usually. But last year, obviously, everything changed for all of us. So there wasn't a lot of work for me. So I stayed in America.
How did you feel about being the whole pandemic and being away from home? Or was LA by then home for you?
I'd made it somewhat home. I'm a critical thinker, but a conspiracy theorist too. So I knew this pandemic was happening, but I just never clocked until like it was April and I was like, oh my God, like this is it. I was like, damn. Like I never clocked.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn. But yeah, 2020 took me down. I didn't expect it to. It took me down like heavily, and I couldn't go to Europe because you guys had a different type of lockdown, and LA weren't doing very well either. So I was just stuck, and I was being so obedient up until like mid-June, where I was like, nah, I'm going to a park. I'm going to the beach.
Oh, so you stayed in the house?
Yeah,
until
it was.
then?
Yeah, but there was patrols in LA. Like you had curfew and everything, and this thing about you couldn't mix houses, and so luckily, shout out to my friend Craig. We were quarantining together the whole time, so that was great because I had a clutch. You know what I mean? But it was difficult because it's like not making money. I support my mom, so it's like where's the money coming from? You know, the government couldn't give me money in America because I'm an alien. So
Okay.
it was just like.
Oh, so there's all like visas and stuff.
Yeah,
involved.
I'm on a visa. So if you're on an artist visa, it's suggested or recommended not to apply for what's called EDD payment, which is like, I guess, the council paying you money.
Like our version of the universal credit.
Exactly. And so all of our lawyers were like, you can't do it because if you reapply for a green card or whatever, they'll be like, oh, you seeked help, but you're not a resident. So I was like, well, I don't want to come back, but I might need a green card in the future. What if I book my dream job? And I didn't want problems. And then it got to the point where it's like, my savings are like literally drizzling down. And they released this thing called PUA, which is slightly different people who are self-employed. And I was like, F it, I'm doing it. You really think that someone's going to sit there, do my form if I reapply and go, oh, because of the pandemic and you ask for assistance, that you're not going to get into the country.
Right.
Everybody needed assistance. Do you know what I mean? I don't have a house to my name, so how'd you expect me, like, do you know what I mean? It was deep, but it was like, yeah, I went through it.
Did you have a lot of things planned for last year?
Yeah, man. I had a whole zhuzh, man. I had Dancing with the Stars in Ukraine as a judge. I had a teaching tour in Ukraine. I had DJ gigs lined up in Ukraine. I had my mentorship program I do twice a year in London.
Yeah. What's that called again?
PSG. Yeah, I had that. So that was going to happen as well. So yeah, and usually when I'm in London, stuff comes up because they know I'm in London. So I had monies waiting for me.
Although you lost out a lot financially, you're somebody, as long as I've known, you're always working. Was the break welcomed? Because I don't feel like you ever stop, really.
No, it wasn't welcome. Like I said, I went down. I became depressed, and I've never been depressed in my life.
Okay.
I've been close to depression a few times, but I've just always managed to just slip out of it, just because. My character, I'm very strong and I love to psychologically analyze things. I can answer a lot of my problems, but this one, it was just like, I just couldn't get out of it. And I just had to, with me, when I go through something that's a bit out of bodily, I have to embrace it. I really respect what my body and my mind needs to do. But little did I know that I just fell so dark into it. And it wasn't that I had a correlation necessarily to success. Like, it wasn't because I wasn't being successful, but I don't do good when I'm not busy.
Well, I was going to say, you're obviously, well, I feel like even you to an extent, well, quite social beings. Like, that's part of our...
Yeah, we're social butterflies.
You're social in your own way.
He's the shadow, yeah.
You're always there.
On his terms and conditions.
But like, we're people who thrive in social environments. Like, we're always going out, we're going to dinners, we party, or you're working in creative environments which require to be social almost.
Do you know what it was for me? Yes to all of that. But what it was for me, I've spent a year and a half kind of slowly divorcing the career that I've dedicated 20 years to.
Yeah.
I'm known as the choreographer, as the teacher, as the mentor in my field. But you can't be... I've got, my career is always sprinkled with delusion dust. You know what I mean? Like, with me, when I was a choreographer, I wasn't just like, in my head, any choreographer. I'm the urban Fosse. In my head, you're obviously nothing like them, but do you know what I mean? So like with me, I'm the Latina Oprah. Yeah. So in my head, I'm like, I can't have both of these houses. Like, I need to divorce one of them to make space fully
for the other.
It's the same thing when I was a dancer and I transitioned to a choreographer, creative director. Like, I couldn't do both. That you had to divorce one. So it took a year and a half to slowly do it. And then as I was like fully in this moment where I know my brand, I've basically finished my hosting school, and now I'm ready to like go there and execute and ask favors and pitch and stuff like that. Then the pandemic happened.
Right.
But I couldn't fall back to dance and choreography because no one's heard of Sisco
for a while.
So how now all of
but
a sudden it does have its gravitas, yeah, but it's like now I'll be doing it just for the money. And I've never ever, I can't not remember the last time I did anything for money. And so like you can't
remember the last time you did anything just for money?
Yeah, never.
Okay.
Like, I literally walk into my jobs like I am blessed, I'm highly favored, and this is an honor to be doing this. I'm freaking Sisco Gomez, don't get it wrong, but I do it because I literally love it, and all the stress and shit that comes with it, I really do encompass all of that. But now I was left when I'm like in this limbo, and I was like, I can't go back to teaching because that's bait, because I'm only doing it for money, trying to survive. You're going through something too, students, maybe even worse than me. I can't take money from you. I can't just be teaching just for the money. So I laid off that. So then I ended up like, doing content at home, which a lot of people were doing presenting, but it's difficult when it's just this and you and the camera, and there's no vibe, there's no energy. I don't have my green screen, my little boop, boop, you know what I mean? I'm so extra. Like, I think with me as well, because you know me, I'm very extra. Yeah. So like, my first episodes, they looked beautiful. Like aesthetic, I said, that shit looks expensive. Like, that is the line. So to go back from that, I was like, oh. So when I got a little kink in the depression armor, I was like, I'm going to teach myself how to edit and how to really, because I like to, for people that don't know out there, I like to like create posters and visuals. I don't know
Which
why.
I only just discovered this year.
Yeah, it's always been like a thing for me. I don't know why. It's just a little like guilty pleasure, I guess. But I was like, I'm gonna make it look as professional as when I get it done for my brand.
Right.
And so I did. And that was kind of like the only thing I took whilst I was depressed for the 9 months. It was like I forced myself to take these courses in online situations. And I had a friend called Sarah in Australia who uses like a specific editing software, and I got taught how to do it. You know what I mean? And I just had to do something, but I couldn't do anything that I was used to because I'm in this limbo where like I'm a judge, yeah, but I'm not a full-time host yet. But I haven't got the opportunity to go to auditions or be seen or pitch anything because the whole industry is on standstill.
Right, so I've got a couple of questions for you. First of all, why did you feel that you needed to come out of being a choreographer to make the step to become a...
What have I got left to do?
Do you feel like you've achieved everything?
Everything. The only thing I haven't done is worked with Lady Gaga, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with not doing that. Everything I've done as a dancer, I've manifested, I've got it, and then some. And as a choreographer...
Can we name drop some stuff?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Like Madonna,
Janet Jackson, Kylie Minogue. I've worked on X Factor, what do you call it?
UK.
America's Got Talent. I've done Dancing with the Stars. So you think you can dance in a few countries.
You done Beyonce yet?
Okay, so I got an audition for Beyonce, but they were underpaying, and I was
You were
like,
no.
Same with Whitney Houston. I got in there, I was like, yeah, you know that song, when they make it for $100 bills, say it, whatever.
Yeah,
that song. So I was like, with Whitney Houston, I was like, it was just at the end of my career. I was like, yeah, and then they were like, I heard the rate. I was like, that's fucking Whitney Houston. Fuck you. And I left. I did the same with Beyonce. I was like, no.
And you've done Britney, but you walked out of that.
No. Oh, the Britney story is so good. No. We all got fired at 3 a.m. the day before. Yeah.
Right.
It's a great story, yeah. So there was that. I booked Britney for 48 hours, 72 hours as an assistant choreographer. What else have I done? Alexandra Burke, do you remember her?
Yeah.
I was a creative director and choreographer for a bit. And I've taught for 18 years in over 22 countries. Destiny fulfilled. Like, you can't...
Great album.
But you know what I mean? I've done everything. And when I started doing stuff in front of camera, I got the bug, and the feedback was almost as great and as positive as when I came out as a dancer or a choreographer. So I started listening to that, and I was like, well, Sisco, are you going to be doing this? Do you really want to be the next Jamie King, who's a creative director? I was like, no, I don't. I don't want to fight for scraps. I don't want to see dancers being underpaid. I don't want to
But could you not have been maybe the person that vouched for change in that
for
industry?
what? That's all I'm doing. My role as an activist into my craft has always been present. That's what I'm known for. I was the first openly gay person in the competition underground scene in the UK. Hence why we got jazz funk. Hence why there are gay dancers of color, period, who are comfortable. I was that bitch.
Okay.
What else can I do? I was literally like the target.
Give him his flowers.
No, but you know what I mean? Like, that was me. Who was one of the first people to go to LA and bring back what the Americans were doing so we could catch up.
Yeah.
I had an opportunity to move to LA, and I said, no, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to train the next generation because we're in trouble.
Yeah.
I've done my activism.
And you did step everyone's pussy up.
Oh, come on. All this, you know, that's why I stopped the company, because when I danced for Janet Jackson, my students were auditioning with me and they booked it with me. And I was like, destiny fulfilled. This is what I did. I trained you guys to surpass me, learn from my mistakes, and to soar in America and in Europe.
Okay.
So it was done, because I used to have my company too. So I was like...
I wish I had a little applause button that I could just press.
Just do that. I love those things. It's so old school.
Clap.
But yeah, so I've got nothing to do. So as I was saying, I started getting the urge about 7 years ago. I used to watch Wendy Williams religiously and Ellen. And I was just like...
Two problematic women.
Yeah, and I was just like, I think, oh my God. I was like, do I want to do that? And then I was like, and then I just let it settle. And then I was like, it literally happened overnight. I was like, that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to move to America to tick all the other boxes. I wanted to work with J-Lo. I wanted to be in an American dance.
Did you work with J-Lo?
I did, yeah,
Okay.
on the Vegas show. I wanted to be on a dance convention next to my peers. destiny fulfilled.
Yeah.
I wanted to do the award shows.
Is this mic close enough to his mouth? Okay. So.
I know I had to project my voice. No, I'm joking. But I wanted to do like all of their version of like their version of the Mobos and all the awards. I wanted to do all that. I got to work with Becky G. I got to tour. I
love Becky G.
Yeah, I got to do shout out to Kevin Maher for the hookup. What else? Andrea Day, is that her name? Yeah, I got to work with her.
Who's
for
Andrea
American
Day?
Star-
She's the one hopefully will play Eartha Kitt. She's the one hopefully is going to play Eartha Kitt.
You know
Okay.
her if you saw her. She
Yeah.
sang that song.
Strong face, strong voice.
Yeah. She's amazing. So I got to do all these jobs and I was like, I got to do everything I set out to do in America in a year and a half. But I've got a 3-year visa. So I was like, all right, Sisco, now you're comfortable to say goodbye. Where's a hosting school? Does that exist? Search. And I found an academy, auditioned, got in. She's nuts. She's amazing. She's also a casting director and she taught me all the tools. She helped me create my brand. And then I was there for a year and a half. And then I was like, I'm not ready yet. I haven't got the right to say I'm a full-blown host, you know?
Do you feel like you need to go to school to learn to be a host?
No, you don't. But I'm you're never gonna catch me. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
I'm not technically trained, as it say, but in my field, oh, you want Greek? Sure. You want Spanish flamenco? Yeah, sure. Oh, you want hip hop? What's up? You know what I mean? I'm that bitch. So in hosting, you're not gonna like, if you need me to do the news or if you need me to do a fashion segment, I'll do it just as well.
Okay.
So that's what I mean. And the
yeah.
I just wanted to learn the skills, what to do and what not to do, and just like be around the future of, because that's how I was so good, because in my dancing, because I was around tomorrow's future. So that was my competition. That was like, I knew where my standard was. I can't go to this new profession full time, not knowing who the competition is or what I can pull from people. So this school,
So this is what I do wonder, whether I need to go and do these things.
I think you could benefit from it. Absolutely.
Yeah?
I think everyone can. You should never stop being a student. Like if
Okay.
you can ever be under someone just for a while, at least just learn for something, because it's just going to be an addition to your repertoire. And going to the school, that's why I renewed my visa for another 3 years, because I just wanted to stay in school. Because I just came back home, like when I first did my first dance lessons all those years ago. I was just so inspired.
Where would be a good place to go and do what you did in LA here in the UK?
I personally, I don't think they have the caliber of teachers here. I know there's a few schools, but it's different. They're amazing for that, but it's different. They're setting you to be like, in my eyes, like the Ant and Dex, or like if you do like, what do you call it? Like live shows, you know what I mean? Not like a Wendy Williams situation, but like for Audi or something where they need a host. It's that kind of show.
Like a Maya Jama.
Right. Well, in my head, I'm the Latina Oprah, so I need to be having my show, my podcast, my game show. You know, I want to have my first variety show, because Bruce Forsyth was my biggest inspiration when it comes to host. Oh my god, sing, legend, sing, dance, and act and present.
God, yeah,
Come
actually,
on.
he was
Hello.
OG.
Hello. Hello. Like he's a G, and like he had his little always in his suit. Like he's gangster. Rest
my
in peace.
God,
Do you know what I mean? And it's like he just had the
Bruce
ability.
Forsyth.
Do you remember? And that's what I want to bring back. The razzle dazzle. Put me in a top hat. Give me a mic.
But you love that. But I always think
that's what I
you give me
did.
circus conductor.
I'm a production,
You're
because
production.
I didn't come up just dancing. You know, we did the acting, we did the singing, we did the
Yes.
choreography, we did directing. So I'm not gonna like not use all that. Like, do you know what I mean? Even though I'm saying I'm divorcing choreography, of course I'm gonna still have artistic control in my shows.
All right, so you've done TV judge. You've been a TV judge.
Yeah, for like
Would you
over
say-
10 years.
Right, so do you not already feel that you're in that field?
Oh
then?
yeah, totally. But like I said,
So, but isn't a judge higher than a host?
because no, I mean I can see why you say that, because we're in a judging type show. They're important, right?
Yeah.
Because the
Like,
opinions are more important than
Yeah.
but remember, the host is the backbone and the guy that creates the waves. He's the one that gets you from A to B.
Okay.
He's the tailor. You know what I mean? And so I'm just you know, in my head I'm a star. So I'm done being a judge, you know, talking blah blah blah. No, give me the mic. Let me take you on the ride.
Hello and welcome back to. My name is Francisco Javier
Whether it's-
Belmeco.
But I will be known as Francisco Gomez, because obviously, like professionally, I'm known as Cisco Gomez, but I felt like that's my choreography and dance career, and so now I'm going back to my birth name, because now the spotlight's on the
On
person,
you.
not
Okay.
the Sasha Fierce version.
And Cisco Gomez at the time was cool because we had Cisco from.
It was catchy.
It was catchy. It's
Yeah,
like,
I
my
mean,
name's
Cisco Thong Song fucked it up, but it's fine. It's fine.
I feel like there's only 2 Ciscos, right?
I mean, one really, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Because where's Thong Song now?
Well, it's getting remixed and chopped up, and you know these artists now that are bringing out these. Oh my god! How many songs recently have you heard from that era that's now been reworked, and you've got some basic girl or person?
Well, that's how it is now, because they can't make proper music anymore, so they have to sample and chop.
Yeah.
Sample and
Actually, I
chop.
heard one today which is really good, and because it's Tiana Major, where she did Silly Games, you know, like the old classic
Oh my God.
Silly Games. Yeah. She's
Idiot. Alright, so now that you're back home,
Yes.
what's next? Or what's the plan? Not what's next. Well, yeah, what's the plan?
So,
You come home. Have you come home because you're allowed to come home? No, you come home because
my visa finished.
your
So it was
visa
time to
finished.
come home.
It was time to come
Yeah.
home. Are you happy that you're home? Yeah?
I mean, like,
Is it nice to see
I will always
Mum?
be a London boy.
And that's what I'm going to say.
I love London. We're
Yeah.
so lucky here in London. But I'm not going to lie, I don't see my future as a host here because I'm just I think I'm a little too unpredictable and outlandish with my tongue for here. And there's a certain British varnish with hosting here. And all the tokens are out now. So Ashley Banjo, great for him. He's now a host. Flirt Easter's getting a chance, fantastic. I saw some Next Black go in another show, so I'm like, oh, now they're trying to like,
Oh,
you know,
AJ
they-
Adudu.
right? They're trying to do.
That's it. That's her
No,
name.
no, there's another one. I know her, but there's
Oh.
another girl for this game show that I saw. So all the token, because you know they're trying to be politically correct now.
Yeah.
They've just done this massive influx of black people.
But they
So-
haven't got me yet. So
baby steps, Mark. Baby steps.
Yeah, no, listen. I'm a 6 foot tall baby, yeah. So my baby steps are wide. I'm gonna be my own, the gay black from Peckham from the ends that he's openly gay on the TV.
Oh, you want to be on TV?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm gonna continue with radio, but I want to have my little side. I need to learn to talk properly first.
I know,
My
right?
little side hustle.
Okay.
So I'm gonna like dip my toes into TV, but I'll be in radio, and then eventually I'll make the transition over. Kind of like Wendy, yeah, but just not as problematic or vile. Wendy.
I love the bitch. I'm sorry.
you love her?
I love it. Do you know what?
She's awful.
What's awful about her? She says what you think.
No, she doesn't say what she thinks because some of the things that she says is just not
Out
appropriate.
of pocket. No, it's out of pocket and inappropriate, but I'm sorry. Like, that's one thing I would say that I don't like about Ellen. You're not that nice.
Yeah.
That's not real.
Well,
And with
I read a lot of stuff about Ellen DeGeneres
I
last
know,
year.
we know,
found
we
out
know.
she's
But
not.
I rather, like, going back to Wendy, I rather someone that you're like, babes, you did too much. I want the nuances. I want the ups and downs, especially in this cancellation era that we live in, this cancel culture. It's a bit like, no, I'm allowed to learn while I'm doing it. I can relate to it because how many outlandish, like, oh my God, stuff have I said? Do you think I'm going to be cancelled for it? No, I've got a reason to back it up. If you're going to counter it and teach me, I'll have a teachable moment.
What do we think about cancel culture?
It's a mess. It's a mess because now everyone's like on eggshells, and I'm like, no, we're losing the spunk, the spontaneous side of the arts now because you sneeze on someone's face and you're going down.
Yeah.
It's like it's too much. It's too much. The accountability factor, like for women, for like trans, especially trans women and men of color, I think it's great. The visibility it's bringing, but it's just like it's so easy to accuse someone, but the repair is not.
As easy to fix.
Yeah, because mistakes can happen. But once you're cancelled, once you've got the hashtag, it's over. And good luck coming
Well, now,
back.
to be honest, I feel like if you get cancelled, it almost makes you even more famous.
Well, sure, but the bank account
Because
might
then
not be
you've
as
got the
famous,
whole
though.
cancel week where you're trending. Yeah. And there's a lot of people that most people didn't know about you until you were cancelled.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean you get money. So if I'm, for example, if I get cancelled and I haven't got to my Oprah status yet,
Yeah.
now what am I going to do? Work in Sainsbury's?
There's nothing wrong with working in.
Nothing wrong working in Sainsbury's, but imagine this production working in Sainsbury's.
He said they pay well.
No, but no shade
What
to
do
that. But
think-
do you know what I'm
do
saying?
What do you think about cancel culture?
I think it's all pack mentality at the end of the day. It starts with one person who's really sensitive. Sometimes it's right. Sometimes there are some people who I don't ever want to see again. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't ever want to hear anything from R. Kelly again because I'm sick of you, and I think it's disgusting what you've done.
Yeah, R. Kelly
And I
needed
feel-
to be cancelled.
Yeah,
Perfect example. Someone.
Do you know what I mean?
Bill Cosby.
needed to
be cancelled.
but obviously he's paid his way out, or something's happened.
I don't know how Bill Cosby's got out of jail.
It was a loophole. It was a loophole because the judge said to him.
But Britney's still locked up.
Yeah, but have you seen the
It's today, isn't it?
Avengers, the Avengers that have come up for
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a Mariah Carey,
Yeah.
Miley Cyrus,
Miley Cyrus,
Paris Hilton,
Yeah.
and Christina Aguilera.
oh my
Yeah.
God, come on, girls! Free fucking Britney!
I mean, that's the strongest vaginas in the industry.
You know
About
what I
to
mean?
fuck shit up.
Do you know what? Yeah, all we need is Beyonce and Kim Kardashian in that lineup, and
Beyonce
she'll
won't
be
do
out.
it, but
Beyonce won't do it.
She's
not going to get involved,
proper.
even though they're the same. They're technically the same school year. Like, do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
the same class,
Same era.
the same
Exactly.
era. Like, that's your girl. I'm sure I've seen Britney and Beyonce.
Yeah, they did a Pepsi commercial with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, go and free this bitch, because I'm telling you now, if Matthew Knowles tried to lock Beyonce up, I would be doing a GoFundMe to get my ticket so that I can go to Houston and get her out. I'll be scaling walls. Like, do you know what I mean?
You be having
The
nuts.
Beehive, we would come together and we would sting whoever needs to be stung. I don't know what what are Britney people called? You know, like you got the hives, you got the barbs,
I don't.
you got the little monsters.
I don't think she has. I don't think she
What's
has.
Britney's
I don't think she
crew
has a
called?
name. She came before that, didn't she?
She's like, I don't. Huh?
Yeah, but they called themselves lambs.
Yes, what did Britney's fans?
I don't think we're called anything.
The Spears.
Huh?
The Spears.
I don't know, girl.
But you are one of them.
Yeah. I am. She's my reason.
You are. I don't know a bigger Britney Spears fan than you.
I know, and I'm low key, and I'm pretty low key.
Like, what do you think about this whole?
It's funny because I obviously know my information, and then when I saw the documentary in Hulu, I was like,
Did it gel together?
Oh
'Cause
my
I know,
God.
Right, so growing up, Sisco used to be the one that used to give me all the tea on all the celebrities.
stuff I shouldn't tell.
Because obviously he was working with them all. So we'd be at McDonald's in Charing Cross on a Wednesday after like heaven. And I'd be there and I'd be like there eating my burger. Like, it's like, yeah, just tell me more. Tell me more. Like, filling up my ears. I'd go back and tell mum and she'd be like, don't be so ridiculous, Mark. I'd be like, I'm telling you now, mum, this is what's going down. And she'd be like, nah, I refuse to believe it. Some of them have materialized. Like, some of the things have come.
It's crazy because like when you saw the Hulu stuff about the medication stuff, you're like, that was true, but she was being drugged. When the whole thing about she's so lonely and she didn't have friends, so she would leech herself to people because she just wanted normalcy. That's true as well, because I know someone that they had a kind of bizarre moment in a gas station and then they took her to to a rehab because it was a bit like, I can't help you the capacity you need. Like, I've known you for years, but you're going cuckoo, bless her.
Right.
But yeah, a little backstory on Britney with me, you know, like everyone
come
has
on.
Michael Jackson and Janet Jackson.
Come
but
and tell the story.
I wanted to be a musical theatre artist. So my dream was to be on Broadway to play like Angel in Rent or Rusty in a show called Starlight Express. And then you know Starlight Express?
Yeah, I went to see it.
Hold on, by the way, can I have some juice?
Yes,
Would that be better than the Prosecco?
Yeah.
Right, so you pour.
And I'll drink it as soon as I'm done.
So that was my dream.
I love that show. Skating.
That was
and neon.
that was my dream. So and then do you remember that show CDUK?
Yeah.
So CDUK premiered Baby One More Time video, and I just remember freezing. I don't know what it was about her. I don't know what it was about the song, but I just froze and I was like, who is this?
It's Britney, bitch.
Obsessed.
Didn't know yet.
That was good. I'll give you that one. And then I was just like, wow. And then Crazy video came out. You drive me crazy. And I was like, oh, fuck me being a Broadway star. It's this. I want to dance for artists like her. And then whatever my career goes from there, that's what it is. And that was when MTV era was at its hottest. Do you know what I mean? So she changed my life. And then I would like always choreograph to her. And I feel like her Jevan used to be in my company, so he would know. Every new album, I would do at least 3 tracks per album. And what happened was when she had that mental health breakdown, I was very ignorant and I think one-dimensional, I would say. And I was just like, because I used to think, how are celebs fat? how are celebs going through mental health? Like, I don't understand. You've got the money and the means to fix it. That was my mentality before. So when Britney went for a mental health, I was like, oh, I was fragile. And then she did the VMAs.
Gimme.
The Gimme. Do you remember when?
Yes.
But people don't know the story behind that. She fired everyone moments before she went on. Hence why she did her own hair. She had the crazy blue contacts. Her heel, it was a mess. Anyway, so I got 7 calls that day to be like, Sisco, are you okay? And on the 7th call, I cried. I was like, and I cancelled her. I was like, I'm done. I can't even, how can I vouch for this? But then, obviously, I learned how to be empathetic, and then I understood. And then I did, because I think I'm slightly autistic. I'm actually getting, fun fact, I'm about to get the exam next week, because I think I'm on the spectrum.
Okay.
That's another thing. Anyway, I think I have Asperger's, right? Because, like I said, I taught myself to be empathetic, but then after...
ASD now.
Oh, is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's just
What's that?
autism spectrum disorder.
Thank you for the correction. ASD. So I think I'm on, I have ASD, right? And so then when I went through my mental health situation, I was like, oh, bitch, I get it. Totally get it. Whoops. But I've never lost my love for her. Do you know what I mean? Because she was the reason that I kind of steered in that direction. Do you know what I mean?
What point have you told a bit about where you booked her?
Okay, so Circus.
Yeah,
Remember the Circus album?
So that's after Gimme, right?
Yeah,
That
was the album. That's the album after.
Okay.
Yeah. So she had an episode, let's call it, on the Blackout era. Her. Oh my God!
I love you.
Like Danger, that producer. Like, oh, you get it. Isn't it just a work of pop art? Like, it's just incredible.
Classic.
And if you don't, our listeners, if you haven't heard the Blackout album minus 2 songs,
Yeah.
just go. It's just the best. It's pop perfection. You don't even have to be a pop
What's
tart
your
to appreciate
favourite
it.
track from the Blackout album?
It depends on the day, but today I'll
Thank
probably
you.
listen to Toy Soldier. That would be my favorite today.
Woo!
I like Naked.
Get Naked. That's
Get
my
Naked.
song.
Yeah. Or Cold as Fire.
Cold as you are my
Really?
people. I love you, baby, hot as ice.
Yeah, that's that pops off.
But-
and I remember I wanted to play it in the club at the time, and people were like, "You cannot drop this in the club." Like,
Oh, you know, if I was there, okay, fun fact, every time he DJs, he tries to act dumb and like he doesn't want to play because he feels he's going to be judged by people of color. And I'm just like, hello, I'm requesting Get Naked and I want it now.
Yeah, man.
It's just a
Such a
vibe. It's so sexy.
Anyway, I know I'm listening to on the way home.
Right, so Britney. So she does the circus situation, right? And she goes back to her director, Wade Robson. We know the choreographer, creative director, Wade Robson.
the problematic Wade Robson.
Yeah, the one that... Anyway.
Lied on
yeah.
Michael Jackson's name, Wade Robson.
Oh, I don't think that was a lie, but only because I know a bit more. But anyway.
Do you see what I mean? Always
anyway. So... Wade Robson and Britney Spears coming back together, collaborating, was a massive wow in the industry because of their history. I'm not going to say too much, but the whole Justin Timberlake situation, Cry Me a River, Wade Robson was very much in the space. So let's say that. So when they were back together...
In Britney's space.
So when they were back together... I have to save some content for my show, Mark. This is a free gig. I'm kidding. So when them being back together, Wade Robson knows Britney, and all of the best artistic moments came from Wade. Choreography-wise, Brian Freeman hands down, but artistic-wise, Wade Robson. So they are back on the circus tour. So he had specific rules for her. It's like, you need to train up to this moment. You can't just like expect to go on tour in the condition that you are dance-wise and performance-wise. I want to get you to the level that you were. It was agreed. She starts doing promo for Womanizer and Circus. And then in between, they lost basically because you know how controlling their
Jamie
A&R
is? Oh, okay.
and the father and stuff like that, they butted heads, so he quit. The choreographer left on the project was a gentleman called Andre Fuentes, rest his soul, who has danced with Britney.
I was going to say, he
was a famous dancer, yeah. So he was with her since Baby One More Time days, like a dancer and escalated to choreographer. It worked actually. The Womanizer video was choreographed for him. The circus video was.
I don't know if I like Womanizer. Was that the one she was on steroids?
No.
Her body. It's when she's jumping on top of like a car roof.
Oh no. That's
Yeah,
Samantha Mumba.
No, but it gave Samantha Mumba.
No. That's I Want to Go. You're talking about the video of Womanizer when she's in the office and she's acting like different femme
She's got the red
fatales.
wig on.
Yeah.
Womanizer,
Yeah.
womanizer. Okay.
So that was that era, right?
Yeah.
So then he's booked for the tour, but then they started doing shady antics to him because now Wade isn't there to control who's in and out of the camp artistically. So imagine Andre Fuentes is the choreographer for Womanizer for how many months or weeks, whatever, and then the dancers go to Japan and another choreographer is waiting. And they get
They get to Japan and there's another choreographer waiting.
Another choreographer waiting for the dancers in Brittany who's changing the stuff. It's unheard of. It's so freaking rude. So then Andre Fuentes, now his position is slightly compromised, right? Because like, what's going on? Anyway, he stays on the show because of his love and respect for Brittany, because he truly believed that he could get her to the stage where Wade wanted her to be. Now, bearing in mind, during this time, it was when she lost custody of her kids. So she was in court trying to get custody of them again. This is all throughout that period.
No joke.
Right? So, Andre Fuentes knows I don't live in London, but he realized that I used to go to LA to train once or twice a year so I can keep up with the kids in America. And I've got friends in America too, so I was just there to kiki. And he finds out I'm in and he's like, oh my God, Sisco's there. Why don't we get him on the job? So my friend Lee Daniel was assisting him already alongside another gentleman, I believe. And so, so then I got basically booked on the spot. She was like, yeah, we're doing Slave for you, we're doing this, we're doing that. And I was like, wait, did I hear it correctly? You're booking me as an assistant for the Britney Spears Circus World Tour. Yes, Sisco. I was like, oh my God. Fun fact though, that whole shady stuff happens. They fire the choreographer Andre Fuentes and they book another gentleman called Tony Testa. Incredible. They have auditions. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm in LA when the Britney audition's happening. I was transitioning to choreography, but I was like, I'm gonna do it. And there's something in me that told me, Sisco, this is not your spot. I know you want to dance for her, but you're not a dancer anymore. You're a choreographer. Why are you going backwards? But in my head, I'm like, it's fucking Britney. I'll do anything for her. So I go and I get cut on the first round. And I remember all my friends looking at me going like, because I had the shittest group, like the shittest, so it was easy. Like I literally sideswiped all of them. But I think it was because the group was so shit.
He's got rid of all of you.
You know what I mean? I guess I didn't shine. I don't know what it was, but I thought I did good because I know when I do crap, I knew what I got. And I was just like, it was the biggest blow of my life because I was like, I've been training to be this type of dancer or a Janet Jackson dancer all my life. So how did that happen? And then that weekend, I got booked as assistant choreographer. So I was like, oh, that's why. I was like, okay, I get it. I was like, sorry, I didn't listen to the signs, God, but how am I not going to go to a Britney Spears audition, even for the experience? Cute. So anyway, so we book it and, you know, it's the Friday. And so I decided to tell a few people because I was like, I always say, until I sign the dotted line or I'm in rehearsal, I don't say that I've booked something because choreographers and dancers specifically, we get treated like shit. So we're very replaceable. So anyway, so Friday night happens. I'm in my sleep. I can't sleep because I'm like, what to wear? At 3:30 in the morning, bring! Andre Fuentes has been booked, by the way, by Tony Testa again. So he's back on the project. So he books me and Lee and someone else. Get a phone call and like, I'm so sorry to say this to you, Sisco, but like, we are not doing Britney anymore. And I was like, I'm not doing Britney? Or you're gonna like what? I couldn't compute. I was like,
doing Britney.
I was like, I'm not doing Britney. So then it was like, yeah. So basically, long story short, everyone got fired in the team. By everyone, it was Tony Testa, I believe, and Andre Fuentes, just like that, because it made it seem that she was, because of what happened to Andre in Japan, where another choreographer was waiting for her, she was embarrassed by that, and so she didn't want to see him again. Because to confront the situation, and so she got rid of him. That was the story I got told. I think it's very management based, but I can see how that would be awkward, especially someone who's, you know, not doing well.
Yeah.
So then they get a whole heap of choreographers. Jaquel, who is a choreographer behind Beyonce. Single Ladies just came out prior, so he was the hot topic. So he books it. Othan. So they basically just got a whole heap of black choreographers who would usually choreograph for like, you know, your Sierras or like, you know, your BET artist kind of vibe. You know what I mean? Fantastic. But it's not really Britney, but great. They were going for that route. But
so, you know, when she talks about in her statement about being forced on to do tours, was that one of the tours?
I don't know. I don't think that was forced upon.
What year was this?
I don't know.
Oh, it was a minute.
When did Single Ladies come out?
Single Ladies came out in 2008.
So it's 2008, 2009 then.
2008, 2009, I think.
Right,
yeah.
so that was Circus.
I think
then.
I was still in that house in Angel.
So Circus Tour came out the same year or the year after that.
Right.
So yeah, so it was that. So then, but then get this. So then that happens, right? So one of my dance mentors, Kenneth Marquise, is assisting or co-choreographing with one of the choreographers. So he heard what happened and he was like, Sisco, I heard what happened. Da, da, da. We need a skeleton crew to show the pieces to Jamie King, who is now the new artistic director. And so I got to dance for not for Britney, but like I got to be in rehearsals, and basically a skeleton crew is basically they get a set of dancers who are not on the project. They kind of like experiment on us, show the creative directors, they approve it, and then they teach it to the dancers.
Right.
So I got to do that. So I was like, oh my God, my stage for this Britney story has been like,
I didn't know that last bit.
yeah. And then I got to, because I knew like half of the dancers, if not more, and one of the backup singers for the tour, I got to see the tour like 6 times. And it was just such a shame because it was just a distraction. She wasn't ready to be on tour. She really wasn't. And it was just, how can we gag and smoke and mirror and laser up so you're not looking at her? And it was just like, nothing was done to accommodate her. It was done to distract you from her because she wasn't at her best. And it was just
And
like...
she hasn't been at her best since.
No, because she doesn't want to. Like, imagine doing 2 seasons of Vegas out of your will.
Out of your will.
And you're doing 5-6 shows a week. Vegas,
No.
dry ass Vegas. No offense to Vegas people, but dry ass Vegas. Like, no.
Choreography, is that do you have that as part of your show? Do you dance?
Not in any sort of formulative fashion. I'll give you that. No, but
Would it be something that you'd be interested in doing?
I think with the newer stuff, we could get down and do some stuff because like my backing singer, sort of good friend Cherie, she just like she knows how to dance. She's a dancer as well.
What, light skin, Cherise?
Yeah, Cherie.
Oh.
It was.
Oh, have you heard this one sing?
Oh,
Yeah.
She's on my new project.
Oh, she's... That one, if she decided to like be an artist and if she had just someone to believe in her full
love
force,
that.
she
Small world.
is, she can, oh my
She
God,
can
nothing.
dance
She's
it
incredible.
down,
Yeah,
she
so
can
she,
sing
I
down.
know her, she's a great, sick dancer. Don't let the size fool you either, sick dancer. Like, shout out to Cherie, she's everything.
What's your
Everything.
What's your dancing like?
I don't know. Let's not do
Is that Magic Mike? Taking off the shirt, skinning out.
Are you more of like are you just more of a vibe to your music?
I'm more of a vibe to my music.
Are you more of a
kind of
Mariah Carey than a Beyonce?
I'm definitely not Mariah Carey. But I was watching. You know what? I love Mariah. Mariah's my one. Yeah.
I became a lamb recently because I listened to the audiobook. Wow.
Oh my God! You were talking about this. I need to hear this audiobook.
Man, that's what I'm saying. Sorry, I interrupted you.
So you can do a little 1-step, 2-step.
Yeah, I do my little 1-step, 2-step. You know, you just keep it lively. But the thing is, it wasn't any tunes that called for it before. Like on the
Okay,
sets
so the
I did.
style of music is more of a stand there and
Yeah, it was more like, because as I said, like it was all really played live, and it was all very much about like exhibiting voice and the songwriting. So it wasn't really about that. Do you know what I mean? But
why on Instagram are you described as a band?
because it says musician/band.
Okay, so there's no option. There's no other option.
No.
Because I was confused.
Musician or artists
Yeah.
have to put band because that's what the bracket, the umbrella they come under.
Oh.
Yeah, it's irritating. But you know, I guess I'm in other bands as well. So I work with other bands and like tour. So I tour with Ash Walker, who's like funk, soul, jazz. We've got a show this Sunday actually, at a festival in the Lake District. Foreign Beggars whenever they do stuff, which is UK hip hop.
I know Foreign Beggars. Yeah.
And then who else? Just other people. So yeah, I guess maybe I'm a little band. I don't
Yeah?
know. Maybe I'm a little one-man band.
A little.
Going around doing everyone else's shows.
Well, yeah, you write, you
yeah.
sing.
Can you play any instruments?
No. Just like I can't drive, I think it's for the best.
I can't drive either. So. Like,
Neither.
Can you actually drive?
I can drive, yeah.
You can actually drive legally.
Well, legally, if somebody of age is sitting next to me. But no, I was supposed to actually take my test this year, but obviously the traffic light system came and cop-blocked that situation. But I've been able to drive since 2008.
Okay.
You didn't drive in LA? That's good. That's just
So what,
like
you were just
such a
getting
good
Ubers
lifestyle.
everywhere?
I just made sure that all my contracts
Got you a car.
included a cab or a car. or because I was always working with someone that I knew, everyone knew that I didn't drive because it was a thing. Like, how do you drive in that Sisco? How do you not drive? So I always got rides too. But yeah, I should have been the sponsor of the face for Uber and Lyft in LA.
I just don't think driving is
cheap in LA,
important.
though.
It adds up though. Driving's
does
not
add up.
important in London.
No.
It's
You've got
not.
so many different forms of transport.
Yeah, exactly.
That it's like, I've got my own chauffeur. He's called whatever, and he drives in Toyota Prius. And if I can request him at any time, and he'll be there within 2 to 4
Yeah,
minutes.
I'm a walker anyway, so I love.
Yeah,
to walk
you're
everywhere.
a walker, so. And I ride my bike.
Okay.
Do you have any intentions on learning to drive?
No, because I think it's safer for the rest of the world that I don't drive. Because
Have you tried to drive?
Tried so many times. Like the last time I tried was in Hawaii, and it was going around like Kualoa Ranch, which is like where they filmed Jurassic Park and all that stuff. And the woman was like super American, really positive. Like, you're gonna be amazing. And I was like, I'm not gonna be amazing. I'm gonna probably like total this fucking vehicle. Like, chill out. Stop telling me to do it. So we started, and my boyfriend, he was driving first, and then she was like, right, this is the point where you take pictures. And she was like, now you drive. So I got in and I was like, what's the journey from here? And she was like, well, it's downhill for a little bit. And I was like, I said, all right, cool. Let's relax. Let's relax. Maybe let's not do this. She's like, no, you're gonna be amazing. You're gonna be
Amazing.
And I was like, okay, cool. Maybe I'll try it. All right, cool. So, as we're going down this hill, and I'm just like, there's rocks on this side, and then like a drop on this side.
Oh, see, already I've got anxiety.
Like, there's only one way to go, towards the rocks. I was like, it's probably the safest thing. And I'm like going towards these rocks, and I could hear him going, stop the vehicle. And I was like, just take the fucking thing, man. I can't drive.
Just take it
Better
from
for
me.
everyone else. Yeah, I don't want to kill no one.
My
So
driving instructor disappeared halfway through my lessons.
Oh,
So I think I did like 2 or 3, and then he just stopped coming to pick me up.
Driving lessons in Peckham.
I was like 18, 19, and I was really enthusiastic about it, but I couldn't do hill starts, and I think I had a bit of like a meltdown on a hill because because to me, I was like, I'm not fucking Fred Flintstone. I was like, I felt like he wanted me to lift the car up to get it up the hill, and I just couldn't get the whole brake, accelerator.
Yeah.
Like that. So he came and like got me off the hill. And then I remember like the following week, I was just like, you right, John? Like, where are you? Like an hour later, John hadn't turned up. I kept messaging John.
John's not coming.
I messaged John for a whole year.
John said I quit.
Listen, I messaged John for a whole year, and I had to threaten John and basically tell him that I was going to report him to the DVLA. Is it the DVLA? So I was just like, you got my money. I paid in bulk.
you paid in
like,
bulk?
where are you?
That's rude.
Yeah, like I paid for like 10 lessons. It was part of like my 18th birthday. Like, oh, it's your 18th birthday. I'm gonna pay for 10 lessons for you. So I paid for these 10 lessons, did 2 or 3, and then my man was like, nah, like he's dangerous.
You must have really done the dirty on that one.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, so
run away that
since
way.
then I haven't had really. But you know, like I feel like a car would give you freedom. Sometimes I feel like there's situations I would like to just be able to just like jump in my imaginary car,
Yeah.
just drive down the motorway and clear my head.
I wish
I'll
could
find
do
it therapeutic.
I bet you do, you ginge.
Ooh, not a junge. No, you know what? Yeah, you will never come on this show again.
Okay.
This is the perfect time to announce my show then.
You throw me off of my my thought.
We'll go back. Junge.
No, I can't remember what I was gonna say. No, but before we talk about cars, what were we talking about?
You were talking about that you got it for your 18th birthday. You just want if you had the freedom, you would drive down the motorway.
No, we can move on from that. Anyway, what?
So Mark's a judge. Moving on.
Shut the up. No, what we were actually talking about was choreography.
Oh,
That's actually what we were talking about. So the next question I was actually going to go on to was, you had a festival coming up.
Yeah, so basically, right, so I sat in lockdown, I got really, really bored. And it got to a point where I was like, we were eating too much. I was just like, I love to cook. So I would just cook everything. I'm like, oh, I'm going to cook a salmon on crew today. It's a Wednesday. Why not? Let's just do that. Do you know what I mean? That kind of thing. And then I was like, getting fat, getting outrageously bored, and I'm furious all the time. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, what what do you need to do? So I just started meditating again, started getting into all of my bits that I'd kind of forgotten at the beginning, because I was like, everyone at the first was like, let's have a drink, let's do house party, let's do this. And once that kind of died down, I was like, get back to yourself. And then in the summertime, I did a gig at a place called Marston Park, which is my friend Fenner's 52-acre piece of land with a 22-acre lake. And it's just beautiful. And I got to sing in the lake. So they built like an underwater stage kind of thing where you can step out into the lake for about 3 meters.
Your friend's got money, innit?
God, love this.
Come on.
I got good friends.
Okay.
I got really good friends. And so I did that there, and I was like, look, as soon as I come off stage, I was like, I really want to organise a festival here or something small to that effect. And he was like, cool, do it if you want to do it. And then we got third lockdown in December. And I was like, actually, that's an idea that you had and you shouldn't let go of. So I just messaged him and I was like, Fenner, can I just start organising this and just thinking about it? And he was like, sure, bud, do what you want. So I was like, cool, fine. That's it. That's the way we talk. Communication is really short but simple, effective. Yeah. And then, so then I was like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to fund this? So I started applying to the Arts Council, which took 3 months to do in the end, to like apply, but I didn't get the funding in the end. But I organised it. Essentially, it's a festival where Black and ethnic arts are amplified, a Black wellness culture. So it was, a nice roster of people performing. There was a really good wellness roster as well, like moon circles, sound therapy, African yoga. Like I had brought and got together these like mad people who just never really knew existed. Like I didn't know they existed. I had to do so much research, and then art as well. So I was getting like Black artists from that side as well. So from over by Somerset, because the place is in Somerset.
Where is Somerset? Devon?
No, it's near Glastonbury.
Oh, right.
Somerset?
Somerset.
Was that Dorset?
It's where the nice people are. West Country. West Country's best country, isn't it? And yes, and I started doing that, and basically there's the movement of the dates of lockdown changed, and I was like, I don't trust these people. I don't trust these Tories to not do it.
It's meant to be in
next
2 weeks,
week,
right?
Yeah, it's meant to be like 2 weeks.
Next week.
But what we've done is, so I had like a sponsor, I had drink sponsors, I had everything sorted. I'm at the level now, at the point where it's just activation. So we just postponed it.
It's not going to be like a fire festival, is it?
No, because that's why I didn't take anyone's money. That's why I was like,
you are so rude.
No, you're not the first person to be like, oh, thank God, it could have been like fine. And I was like, that's why I didn't take anyone's money, because I was like holding back, and I was so reticent to like actually put it out there, because I thought if this thing gets pushed back by even 3 days, I'm done. Like I'm absolutely done.
Okay,
I can't do it.
you can't do it.
And there was there's no wiggle room. And I spoke to the guy who owns the land, and he was like, look, how much stress do you want to put yourself under for the next month and a half? And I was like, not much at all. And he was like, well, let's just postpone it. I'm your mate. You've got the land. It doesn't matter. Like,
love that. We need friends more like, what's he called?
Fenner.
You alright, Fenner? I want to do my own. Actually, I'm not going to say that right now. Not live.
I can get you to DJ there.
Junge Fest with Mark Dupé.
Listen, only you would know about what a Junge Fest would require.
And what?
Anyway.
I've heard this word a lot.
Huh?
I know what that means.
You know what it means?
Yeah.
Yeah, well...
Mark!
For the listeners that don't, it basically means slut.
How are you going to call me that on my own show?
Slut.
We're going to have to beat those out. No, it's fine. Go to Urban Dictionary and look it up, and you'll see his...
So if you're enjoying this episode, #Junge. So we know that you agree.
So what date have you pushed it back to?
So we pushed it back till next year. But the other important thing is that it has to kind of...
Oh, it's next year now?
Yeah, I pushed it back because the date that he gave me was in September. And for me, it's important that the weather's good. I'm born in July, so I'm just like...
You Cancer?
Leo.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's your birthday soon?
Yeah. End of the month.
Okay.
You want to invite to my birthday?
What are you doing?
Can have a little party,
Okay, yeah.
At Fenner's house.
No, I wish it was.
So you want to go to Fenner's?
You're going to come back from the sea.
What date is your birthday?
The 30th of July.
Okay, right at the end.
Right at the
Okay,
end.
cute.
Most
Leo,
important bit.
fire. Do you know what your others are? Do you know what your rising and your moon is?
No, because I asked my mum. I was like, when was I born? And she was like, do you think I know that stuff?
All right, but we
She was
know
like, you
what
gave me
date
so
and
much
year
pain.
where you were born.
Oh, what date and year? 1986, 30th of July, 1986.
All right, so when this is done, we're going to find out your...
But you need to
We
know
can't
the
find out his
time.
rising. No, you can't. The time is the rising. We'll be able to find out his moon. And that's his
No,
emotion.
I want to
That's
know
a-
my moon.
Yeah,
No,
that's
my
the
moon.
most important thing. You need to know your moon.
Oh, what do you think I am?
A Leo.
You think so?
Yeah.
I don't
or-
think so.
Or an Aries.
Oh, you know what? Maybe I attract Aries men like this.
All Gemini, actually.
No.
No, actually, Scorpio moon. 'Cause there's a bit of a
Gemini.
bitch in you, innit? There's a sting. Like a
What are you, Mark?
my moon is Capricorn.
And your
And my
rising is
Gemini.
Gemini.
Fuck you! Leave me alone. Right. So, the festival sounds amazing.
Yeah, I'm just putting that on
How
hold.
much were you going to be charging for the tickets and stuff?
So for me, it was about people getting there. And the first time, obviously, no one really makes money off their first festival, but I kind of stood to make money. Off of it. I was only going to do tickets at like 120, 150 pounds for the weekend.
For the weekend.
But you
That's
don't.
amazing.
That's
but
cheap.
there's no camping, so the camping is different because he has 35 glamping tents, which are absolutely beautiful.
Wait, Fenna has glamping tents too.
Yeah, and
Ready to go.
ready to go. Yeah, because it's already a site. Marston Park is already a site.
Okay.
It's like there's a
What
stately
the-
home. There's a church on it. It's
So what about if
amazing.
you didn't want to glamp, you just want to bring your own tent?
That-
Can you tent for the £120?
No, this is
This,
what we
is
didn't
this a
want.
scam? This sounds like fire.
No.
Sounds like
It
fire.
Doesn't,
festival.
it just doesn't. See, judge mentality. Ignore him.
All right. So how much more do you need to camp?
To camp for the glamping, it's like $465 for the weekend.
No, but if you brought your because glamping means that you're providing the.
Yeah, no.
What about if you brought your own little pop-up tent?
No,
That can't happen.
no.
Is there hotels or B&Bs near there?
Loads. There's a Premier Inn.
Oh, okay.
There's good hotels which are like 15, 20 minutes walk. Half an hour walk.
Okay.
And that's why I want it to be in summer. Do you know what I mean? Because I want people to.
But do you know
walk
what?
from location
September
to
is a
location.
really good time to do a festival because with the global climate situation, everything's been pushed back. So I feel like the best weather comes September? August, September.
August, September. Yeah.
So it's so unpredictable though in this
yeah,
country.
this is the thing. I kind
you
of
think?
want to. And look at this summer. Look at what we're getting in July.
This is July.
It's like it doesn't bear well.
Yeah, because everything's been pushed back. But there's something about the jet streams at the moment. They're all messed up. And that's why... Did you see the flooding that happened in
Portobello Road?
In Portobello Road.
Oh, Portobello.
And that's what's happening in New York. Listen, grab a Bible and start repenting. 'Cause he's on,
So it's the end of days.
it's end of days. He's on his way back. I'm not even religious, but anyway, yeah.
I've
Something's
got my VIP wrist anyway, so I'm good.
Something's going on. Listen, to be honest, I've always said that if there's any hell or heaven, I want to be in hell with all my girls.
Don't say that. Rebuke in the name of Jesus or whatever you believe in.
do you
See, that
mean?
is judgment.
That's where all the fun's gonna be. That's all the people are gonna be. I don't want to be up there.
Eternal of damnation and heat and bother.
Yeah, so we're all gonna have great times.
You are-
We're all gonna be wearing crop tops with our
Imagine
bodies
you get there
out.
and it's just-
do you know what I
You're going to
mean?
be in chains that are going to be bunning your skin. And you're going to be in hot coal.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Yeah, imagine if it's just you and him. Just you and Little Nas
Listen,
X.
if y'all believe in that stuff, I'm happy for you.
Yes.
I don't believe in that stuff, so that I will not be going to no eternal damnation.
Oh, so you don't believe in hell either?
I don't believe in heaven or hell.
So you just
I
think-
believe in you pass on and you go to the next.
And what's the next guy?
I don't know what the next is. I might
Dupé's dead.
I might, that was hell. You might get shot to another planet, or you might go to like another realm.
Oh,
or
so you're like
another
a Mormon.
dimension.
You're like a Mormon. You should be a Mormon, babes. That's what Mormons believe.
Yeah, I don't
You
believe
get your planet.
I believe that if anything, we're in hell right now. Like, do you get what I mean?
Speak for yourself.
If I'm gonna believe in hell and heaven, I believe that if we're gonna get deep for a minute, I believe all of that stuff resides in you already. So I feel like the devil and angels, that's in you.
Yeah, that's
innate.
the sides of
No one
humans.
can be 100% good or 100% bad. Like, everyone has the ability to do bad and to do good. And I feel like sometimes, depending on your perception or the way that you look at things in life, you're either in hell or you're in heaven. Whether I'm gonna go and be there forever, or whether I'm a martyr, I'm gonna be met with 7 goats and 100 virgin women. Like, do you know what I
I'll
mean?
take the
Like,
7 goats,
all
please.
You know what I mean?
They're good
all
in
of
a curry.
that. All of that.
You've been watching
nonsense.
too many Beyonce videos.
Oh my god, no. We're Baphomet heads. This Prosecco is doing what it needs to do.
Can't wait to have some.
Right, so do you know what? I need to stay on top of time. We're gonna close the show with you singing.
Okay, cool.
I think that'll be cuter. So what I want to move on to, and we can speak on it for a little bit, is the weekend and all the stuff that happened with the football. So I know that we touched on it earlier. Obviously, we're all dead against it. But like, how do you feel as like, especially as young men of colour and young queer men of colour, the whole idea that you have to almost like text your friends and tell them that, like, make sure you're okay today, because like, if you know what's going to happen if England don't win, like, it's that stuff that Jevan, go on.
Can I just say, we you, Sisco, and I had a little video conversation prior.
Yeah.
And I was like, you better pray Raheem Sterling doesn't do anything to anger the fans. Otherwise, you're going to be in a very unsafe space, because he was going out to watch the match.
I was going out to watch the match, yeah.
So I kind of predicted that if England lost and, you know, Raheem missed the opportunity or whatever, he would carry the brunt of it all. I didn't predict this penalty situation.
Yeah, and it was going to be 3 black men who had...
I didn't watch the match, but obviously when you're in your house, you can hear all the neighbours screaming and shouting or whatever. So at the point, I knew it had gone to penalties because it was on for so long. So
It was like it was 2 hours in total, maybe even longer than that. Hold on.
Because a match is an hour and a half, then you get a bit of extra
So we
time.
had we had 30 minutes extra time, but then we had like 15 minutes extra time on top of that half an hour. And then, yes, it's over 2.5, maybe 2 hours, yeah.
Basically, I was like, okay, cool, let me go online and look who took the penalties, who scored and who missed. When I saw that, I was like, I guess I ain't go for my evening walk.
And the joke is, when I was watching the match and I was watching the penalties, I didn't think of it as 3 black guys had just missed penalties.
Straight away.
It wasn't until afterwards.
Because you're black. Why would you?
No, yeah, but it wasn't until we lost it, then I became very aware that 3 black guys had lost it.
Yeah.
But as they were taking it, I wasn't thinking, oh, look, there's another black guy going up. I was just seeing it as, we're all English. Like, some of us might identify, some black people don't identify as English, but at the end of the day, we're born in England.
Yeah,
like,
but
I mean,
see, this is the thing. That means you're British, because you
Yeah,
don't
I'm
have
black
English,
Brit-
but
I'm
you don't
Brit-
have English. For example, you're African
I'm half
and Jamaican.
I'm half African, half Jamaican. Yeah, I'm half Nigerian,
but
half
you're a
Jamaican.
British citizen.
Yeah.
And I think this is where, unfortunately, white football fans, there's that little like kind of loophole where they can access the racism more towards us. Because I love when games happen, because I was like, how are you going to defend anything, or how are you going to say anything? This is blatant racism. It's hooligans acting at their best. At the end of the day, as patriotic and important it is, it's a game.
It's a football
It's
game.
a game.
You're kicking a leather ball into a goal.
Do you know what I mean?
And that's all it is.
And no shade, right?
But
Because
like-
it takes a lot of skill.
No, it does take a lot of skill, but for the fans to get to the point that they do, and you have to remember, like, before we even lost the game, they were already acting mad. I was seeing people doing bumps of coke off of lampposts. There was a man with a red
That
smoke
rascal.
thing that he was being held upside down, and they put the smoke torch out of his ass. And then they broke into Wembley.
Yeah.
The fans that didn't have the tickets. So then you had the paying hooligan supporters versus the non-paying hooligan supporters. So like there was like 14-year-old boys getting taken out, like knocked out by men who were angry that they'd broken in. And it was like, well, we were trying to fucking help, weren't we? And it was like, I'm like, I don't know if that's help. Like,
No.
do you know what I mean? Like, do a citizen's arrest, not a knockout. Like, do you get what I mean? You're knocking little boys out.
Sometimes you need to feel the...
No.
Well,
No.
that part.
But what I think is just unfortunate is that like it was such predictable behaviour, but I just hoped that maybe in 2021
No.
that it wasn't going to be
It's
as
always
predictable. But it was more than predictable because you did what we thought you were going to do and more.
Do you know what?
Like I feel like this is one of the worst scenes that I've seen in a long time.
There's so many concessions made for football fans. Like, they can get away with the most disgusting behaviour and they never get criticised about it. You know, countries ban England fans from coming because of what they do to their countries. Do you know what I mean? There's so much stuff. If we talk about the domestic violence and all of this stuff, it's just skimmed over. There's no criticism.
It's part of the culture. Whether England, whether white people admit it or not, it is part of the culture. Unfortunately,
Is it part of working class British culture?
No.
All the culture.
Let me. You know what someone said to me, and I was like, of course. Okay, a man, a heterosexual man, or a man in general, it's even people of color, right? We're not taught to speak about our emotions, that vulnerable side, that open side. So imagine a typical man, a cis man, right, who likes his football, a bit of a geezer, acting up, acting a certain way, over-masculating himself in certain pockets. And he's like this with his wife, with his kids, with his associates. So there's all this pent up. Then he's had a few lagers, few bumps, whatever, spliff, whatever. Yeah. Then he's around this like boisterous alpha male energy. He's gonna let it rip because he's around his crew. He's around his people. It's savage. It's savage. So it's like this is why domestic violence goes up for 26.
Well, that's gonna say the percentage, like the fact that there had to be like this whole messaging going out, like if you're a woman who is worried about how your husband might react or your partner might react regarding the scores of the England match, just say this or contact this group or make sure you're here. It's like, it's a scary environment for black people. It's a scary environment for queer people. And it's a scary environment for women. And it's like a game. It's a game. A game should not get us to the point where women have to be walking on eggshells. Gays and black people need to stay indoors. Like the amount of people that text me throughout the game just being like, I hope you're okay, or just making sure that you're all right, or make sure that you get in a cab straight home. It's like I shouldn't have to think like that just over a football game. No. But I feel like is it a European thing? Is it a British thing? Is it a worldwide thing?
Every country has its boisterous, I guess.
If Italy
tendencies.
had won, would Italian women have been in the same situation that British women were in? Huh? If Italy lost, would Italian women have been in the same situation that British women are in? Would Italian gays have been in the same situation?
No, I think, if I'm being totally honest, I think British and the Russians are probably the worst when it comes to football.
Hooliganism.
Yeah.
And Polish as well.
And Polish.
Yes, the violence is just in the DNA. It's part of the cultural construct. Like for the government or like all these charities to be saying stuff like, oh, if the score is this, you're enabling this. If the repercussions for such behavior were as bad as the repercussions were in America for smoking weed or whatever back in the day, remember they used to lock you up for 5-10 years. Do you really think these men will be doing that? It'll be so different. You really think if you had to have for example, an electronic pass to get into the games, so if I arrest you, I ban you from all the games, do you think that'll happen? No. It's enabled because the government are thinking money. All those shops, all those stands, all those villages, all those hotels, they can't afford to lose it. So they enable this type of behavior that's now become culture. The reason why people were texting you is because we've been dealing with this since we were kids. So we know.
Yeah, I've been dealing with this since the Millwall days.
Do you know what I mean? We know what's going to happen.
So I knew about.
Do you know what I mean?
I never went to a Millwall match based on the fact that like it wouldn't be advised for you to go to
it's as easy as this. Like because they lost the game and because it happened to be black people, these men are going to go home pissed, don't have a punching bag, and they're going to see someone like you and be like, oh, he's gay. That's it. That's all it takes. 1 + 1 for them is 2. It makes no sense.
All right. So obviously now since the loss of the match, we've had a height of domestic abuse and racism online. Really bad racism. Like I've never seen the N-word more than what I've seen. Like, do you get what I mean? And it's like considering that last year we were in the height of Black Lives Matter and the whole country was gripped by George Floyd and protesting, to 365 days later to now be in another race situation, but it's over football. No one's even died. Like, the reason why this has happened is because you lost a football game. It's like, it doesn't make any sense. But what I want to get to is, when it comes to social media platforms like Twitter, Instagram and TikTok, they have been very clear that they don't think that people sending the monkey emoji and banana emoji at players like Raheem Sterling and Saka, who was trending Sacco, which just shows the level of intelligence of the football fans. There is no intelligence. You couldn't even get the vowels right. They're saying that that's not an issue for them, but what they're doing is removing the content from the people who are calling it out.
Yeah.
Now we're in a situation where there's a petition going around where they're asking people to basically make the government make
verified.
A verified account. I don't know whether I want my account to be verified. I shouldn't have to put in like government details into Instagram to have a platform, because I think that takes away a level of my freedom.
What? It's not. I think it's a massive issue, and it's not just around race. It's around sexual predators. It's around stalkers. It's around a lot of things, because we've had to deal with myself and a few of my clients had to deal with a stalker who was relentless, and nobody would do anything or could do anything about it because there was no legal framework. They kept deleting and creating new profiles, like all of this stuff. I think if there's something in place that prevents people from, doing that, and you're able to verify their identity, I'm for it. If I'm being honest, if it protects kids, I'm for it. If it protects,
I don't think it's necessary. I really do think that they should these platforms, you create these platforms, you make the money from it.
You make the money from it.
You do exactly what you want to do.
Every time somebody looks at one of those...
You can target me and if I put vaccine or COVID on something, you can send me a message, you can put a warning.
Yeah.
So what the hell are you doing as a responsible adult or a responsible company who's trying to be ethical or whatever you're trying to do, letting these things happen? That's what
I think. I'm like, right now, if you go into Instagram or Facebook and you say vax, COVID, Corona, 19, jab, medication, straight away, before you even press post, they're letting you know, we're gonna let everyone know that this is the right information. If you play a song by Beyonce on Instagram,
it's coming down.
It's coming down. Like, do you get what I mean? If you're a woman and your nipples shows, post gone. You can be a topless man online, fine. Expose that nipple. Expose some titties. Gone. So I don't understand why you can say the N-word, black, see you next Tuesday, monkey, emoji. You've got the technology to work out exactly when it's problematic and when it's not problematic.
The thing is, they've got the technology, but we can't rely on these companies to be ethical, number one. But number two, it's not so much that, they don't want to put in place the technology. They don't want to do anything about it, because if you report it, you get a message back saying, we don't see any violations.
Yeah, so this is what I understand. So what is Mark Zuckerberg playing at the moment? Because obviously he owns Instagram and Facebook, which are two of the hugest...
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
It's white people trying to sort out black problems. So how is this going to happen?
Okay. So
you can't relate. Oh, it's a monkey. I get offended to that.
No, well, at the moment, though, the actual conversation that I've woken up to today is about whether Apple and Android phones should get rid of the monkey app and the banana app. And my thing is, like, the banana app didn't call me a black see you next Tuesday or N-word. Like, do you get what I mean? It's not the actual emoji that's the problem. It's the person behind
used, yeah.
Like, do you get what I mean? So why are we banning the emoji over the actual user? Because so you take away the emojis, these people still have the ability just about to spell. Like, do you get what I mean? So they will still be able to spell out the words if need be. So I don't think the problem here is getting rid of the emojis. It's getting rid of the people who think it's okay to talk to people like that. No?
Yeah, because convict the knife, you convict the person who
stabbed
the
like,
person,
do you know what I mean?
not the fucking
It's
knife.
accountability. There's none.
And that monkey emoji sometimes used in the right way is really cute. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? And depending on what you're describing, the banana emoji could come in very useful.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen that a few times.
We've got minutes left.
Judge.
Right, as always, this show speeds by. I'm gonna need an extra hour, I think. I'm gonna speak to the people. Deal with this.
He's like, nope.
But this has been It's M-A.D Ting, and we're not gonna finish this show without a live performance from Laville.
I do one, innit?
Yeah, so which one? Most people can fit. How long have we got? We've got 5.
I'll fit cranium in.
Cranium in, yeah? Right, I'm going to go set that up. If you've been tuned in, this has been It's M-A.D Ting on Feds Radio. Big up my guest. Ra-ta-ta-ta, Laville, Sisco, my great cousin, Jevan Levy. Next, I'll be back in 2 weeks' time with the great DJ Hannah Holland. We're going to be having a little... Yeah, got Hannah Holland coming on to have a little chit chat with me. So I hope you've enjoyed the show. I'm going to go play the music. This is Laville. Lee, I'm going to need you to set him up. Does he need these headphones? Yep. Okay. Checking out, guys.
Right. So while they're setting up, if you've got anything to say, maybe about the topics that we spoke about, should the banana emoji be taken away, or the monkey one, or is it the racist people that should be taken off these handles? Also, hashtag Junj, do we know any stories about Mark? We would love to know, you know, because I would love to know. I know all these stories, but you might know something we don't know. All of our handles would be on Mark's page. Mine's at Sisco Gomez. What's yours, Jevan?
At Mind Your Business.
Oh, okay. Well, that was that then. But yeah, thank you for having us, Mark. We're setting up.
Hello, I'm Laville, and this is a track called Cranium, which I only really do live with Ash Walker, actually, which is someone that I'm in a band with, one of my brothers. It's dedicated to my auntie, who was like my biggest fan, the biggest fan of the whole entire band. So this is Cranium. If I close my eyes, will this seed grow, grow, grow? And if you told a lie, how would I know, no, 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 no? Ooh, that's the way that my heart goes. When you quill me like you do, baby, I'm no longer in control. Da, 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 da. Emotions battery is running on low, 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 low. What power do I have to set myself free? Yeah. Oh no. Ooh, that's the way that my heart goes. Ooh, when you quill me like you do, baby, yeah. I'm no longer in control. Yeah. Reaching out. From a grip to hold. Transparent sight. Reveal my my soul, reveal my soul. Sit tight and wait for me, and wait for me. If all else fails, embrace the memory. Embrace the memories. Oh no.